analog horror. I don't know it for its creepiness, you know. It's static and all that, recorded from camera. But when I hear an analog horror, I think of No Through Road, or as I call it, the first analog horror ever. And when I hear No Through Road, I think of, you know, rabbit hole, mysterious. Hi, I am Random Guy who's on the internet. So today we are gonna be reacting to No Through Road, or as my personal favorite analog horror ever. This video starts off with the UK police. I think it reads, on December 15th, 2008, 4 17-year-old boys were reported missing from Stevenage. On December 17th, their bodies have been found at Broomhall Farm. The residence was thought to have been long abandoned, but police found signs of inhabitants. The following video is unedited footage from the digital camcorder and found in the car. Alright, so this video starts off with two boys, Ollie and Steven. There's two other boys in the background, but they're really not important, so we won't talk about them. And these conversations they have, it really feels real, you know, just a bunch of teenager boys just hanging out. Until they come across this place that's called Broomhall Farm, private road. Ollie drives through it for some reason, but Steven uses his head going like, wait, this is a private road. We really shouldn't be here. Yeah. So basically, they drive out, you know, and they all agree that we will never come back here, which is some really subtle foreshadowing, you know. They come across this sign which says Bennington and Watton. They don't even know these places, and it's nowhere close to where they live. So they're completely lost. So they just drive out for a couple more times. They headed forward just to see if that would work. So they're just driving, and eventually they come to stop because Ollie has to use the bathroom. Because of all the stress and overwhelm, Ollie gives Steven something important. Beer. Basically just beer. Stella. They all don't know what to do. Even the driver doesn't know what to do, man. You're supposed to drive them home. Drive them home, driver.
Also, holding the camera to your face makes you extremely uncomfortable.
So they step out the car, which is very stupid, I think. But then Steven notices something weird. A dead rabbit. Something weird happens.
As well, it's really weird. Ollie does.
Okay, so then Ollie just makes it more worse for them. You know, Steven apparently doesn't seem that good. They agree for Steven to go check something out, so Steven gives the camera to one of them in the back. So he's checking the stuff out, but then suddenly he starts looking freaked out. He runs back to the car. The others don't know what he's seeing. He's screaming, drive. And then apparently Steven used to be Megamind or something. I don't know. I thought I was supposed to not have no distortion. So while they get back in the car, Steven explains like how he saw some dude in a mask, which gives them a huger reason to, like, you know, buckle up and go home. Cause apparently one of them said it's like 4 in the morning or something. No, I don't know, either 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. And they see another sign. You know, they maybe it's the sign to go home. But then they take a closer look. It can't be. Ain't no way. It says Bennington or Watton. So they don't really know. Of course, they're in disbelief. So they get into a fight. You know, they've been driving straight the whole time. Maybe they've been going in a circle. Maybe they need to take a turn or something. But then another weird glitch occurs. It's like somebody tampered with the thing. But they get back to driving. They're going into a straight line again. They're going into a straight line. Just remember that. They're driving, you know. It keeps cutting. Yeah, they're just driving for a while. They're driving in a straight line. Everything's fine. Maybe they just took a turn, but then they see another sign. Maybe, like I said last time, was the sign to go home. Well, guess what? It's not. It's Benetton and Watson. Apparently, they probably don't see it, so Steven has to get a real good zoom into that. And they park the car, and apparently they don't see it. They're too much in disbelief. Then they get back in the car. And then, maybe to lighten up the mood, they play some music. Yeah. They play some music. Yeah, music. So they're going on to this radio station.
What is this?
It tells me that a radio station had a bad day today. Somebody must have played a prank. That's what they usually think. So yeah, they get back to driving. They're just basically talking about what's just on the radio, going like, "Oh, that's the scariest thing I ever heard." But then they see lights. That's something they haven't seen in a while. So that means it should be good. And then they actually seeing different signs. And then finally, they see Stevenage. They're back home, baby. Back home. And, they're going back. Everything's delaying. They go back to talking. They finally see another car, dude. Finally, after 1 hour, they see a car. And they're he's basically going I couldn't become a baker. Wait, what the? Didn't they just go through this bridge? Maybe. Oh, bro, I don't know what just happened. Didn't they just go through that bridge? Maybe? I don't know. Steven's zooming in onto the sign that obviously has no 3 road. Oh my god, it's the name of the series. Oh my god. Alright, so yeah, they get, they're just kind of in disbelief again. In this disbelief, lights go out.
What are you
Finally, somebody picks up the camera again. It's Steven. So while he's running away, he slowly hears the screams of his friends slowly fading away. Some reason he goes back through the bridge. Very brave man, I would say. Even though that's the main reason why you're in this situation. He's looking back, but it's like that dude stole the vehicle. He's trying to run Steven over. He's running. The man comes out. Not this time. Block blast. I'm doing something. So he's running away, thinking he's all safe and cozy, huh? All safe and cozy. Something knocks him out, basically. And then we come to this very disturbing footage. I would say it is.
dog? Handled. What? Beans. Cool.
Wow, really? So now, if you want to go look at that website, you can. I'm not going to do it because I don't have the gut.
What just happened? I just saw someone get his head bashed with a camera.
Well, that's where the explanation comes in. Don't ask me any questions that goes like, who's the masked man? Cause I have no idea. So even though I just explained the whole thing, if you want a short explanation, here it is. So, like I said, 2 boys, Ollie and Steven. There's other 2 boys, but, they're not really that important. So, they basically went missing in their hometown named Stevenage. I'm recapping this part because I didn't read it fast enough. And on December 17th, their dead bodies were found miles out of Stevenage. People thought the place they went to was abandoned, but there is some signs of, people being there. And as we can tell from the dialogue that some of them had, which I had muted because I just thought of this now, that place has actually been on the news. So, yeah, it's a really cursed place. In Indian, if you didn't know, I don't know who the masked man is. If I could take a really good guess, I would say it's the owners of the farm. They just don't want people to trespass on their place. But that instantly busts my theory because so basically what happened with the tunnel and all of that. I'm gonna save that for last, but it's hard to explain in the end. I'm gonna do a one massive explanation in the end. So yeah, all the boys die. Yeah, all of them. Or we're gonna see go through World 2, and that's gonna change your perspective. The next 3 episodes. So yeah, we're gonna see that. But let's just jump into the second part. Maybe we'll get some answers to that in the next 2 episodes.
This footage has been released without consent.
Alright, so this footage starts off with a little nice drive. Maybe some of you guys can watch this and fall asleep watching it. Maybe, I don't know. Alright, so then the car parks. People walk outside. And then we see this dude. Alright, so you know how we do this. That dude's name is James. Yeah, his name is James. So we get this really cinematic shot. These people have to make a Hollywood movie or something, I don't know. And we see him holding a bunch of flowers, and it's like a little place, people died. Memorial. But then later on, we finally realize who this person is. I'll just let the audio play out for now, so you guys can listen.
You okay?
Yeah. No, I dragged out first, before Stephen. I don't know how I got out there.
Don't remember anything.
Last thing I remember is flagging down that car and then being in hospital.
You've never spoken to me about this before.
Anyone? After I got questioned at the police station, I didn't speak to anybody, not even my parents.
Yeah, so basically this dude was one of the 2 kids that we didn't know. Yeah, he was one of them, and basically he's the only one who survived, which is quite interesting. And then we cut to this footage. It's just them talking about Doctor Strange. I could never understand this conversation.
In different time zones all the time. Makes sense.
That's tight.
Each time they meet each other, they're meeting a slightly different version of the
Went back in time to when you got up. Would you see yourself in bed, or would you be waking up again?
Well, if you know you've done something, if you know I walked down that street at that time on that day, and you specifically go back in time to see yourself then you will, yeah.
Unless going time and then you are living yourself.
Did you see that? Yeah, there's a rabbit.
And then we cut to this perfect silhouette shot. So basically, this other dude right here, I will introduce him later. So they get out the car because apparently James isn't getting no single, which basically happened last time. But since they're all the way out here in this country farm, maybe it's because, it's the country farm. I'm pretty sure they don't have no internet there. Either that, or, they're just doing the same thing again, So they walk back to get back in the car. James is still checking his phone. Buddy, it doesn't have no signal. Just accept it. So, yeah. Then we get a little night-light drive, I guess. It looks like the sky's blue. I don't know what to say, man. So then, driving after a little while, they see the sign. Oh, maybe it's the way out. It can't be Benetton and Watson, because Oh yeah, it's probably been in Wadden. So then James pretty much has trauma from this. So he gets out the car. It's happening at nighttime also. Out of all the times, man, this could happen at daylight, and I would be traumatized. But you know, not that traumatized. You know, it happened at nighttime. But man, imagine feeling how he feels. David's like, look, what's wrong? And then we get to see the sign, but it's just missing the Watson sign. Maybe because of all those years it came off. So then we get out the car, talk a little, check it. It kind of reminds me of when they checked the sign back in No 3 Road 1. You know, one thing I noticed kind of different. It didn't have that little field thing or anything. So it cuts back to them back in their cars. Alright, it's time to properly introduce the person who James is with. Person is Dave. We don't really know much about him. He's just there. You know, it's just them talking again. Even though if I try to unmute this conversation, it's just gonna mostly be distortion, but they didn't promise us high quality stuff. Dave grabs the camera again. You know, it's spec driving. Know why they think that would work. So they go for a little drive, I guess. And man, it's very dark out now. It was like at first it had a blue sky, but I don't know, man. Somehow they ended up at that archway. I don't know if they're gonna run into the archway now. So yeah. And guess what? Another weird thing happens. You guessed it. Yep, they passed up that same sign. So basically, James is getting frustrated. Dave's trying to calm him down. Basically, you know. So James said, next time if they see it again. Speaking of it, they are just gonna screw and take going into Badminton. Never mind, man. Never mind. You just gotta turn to Badminton. Either that or he's just trying to make sure, you know. So they got out the car. It's, you know, they're just checking their phones. Apparently, it's dead. It's just dead out there. So, yeah, they have no hope. There's no hope. They all walk away, and then we see the masked man in the background, which obviously means no good. Sorry, I don't know what was going on during this time. So basically, James is saying he's seeing his emails, and Dave tells him, next time you see your emails, you should really contact somebody next time. Really. Basically, Dave asks this question.
Reckon it's a good thing he came back.
I just had to pay my respects.
Do you think it was worth it?
No.
Scary man jump scares them. We don't get a good glimpse at him, but I really did. And when I was watching this the first time, my mind was pretty blown. So basically, I think Dave dropped the camera or something for a little while. They grab the camera. They hear this high, squeaky pitched British kid. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. It's Steven again. Yes, this is Steven again. So yeah, he's alive somehow. He recognizes Dave, which gives us a hint. He wasn't in the car, but you know, he was a part of the friend group. Steven starts yelling, where is he? And then James says, it's been 3 years. But if for Steven, it's been like a couple hours ago. So what kind of time travel stuff they have going on here? We have no idea. Basically, I guess that Doctor Who stuff was just foreshadowing. So we cut to this part, you know, Stevens said James is like filling him in on what's happening. He just ran into a bigger rabbit hole. And then the next clip cuts with, for some reason, outside the car. So Steven, it's really, really sad. Yeah. And then that's gonna be like half of the end of the episode. And then just to save you guys some time, it just ends with them walking back to the car.
Wait, wasn't he dead in the first one? How is he still alive? What kind of timeline is this?
That's where the explanation comes in. So yeah, that dude back there was pretty right. What was this timeline? Well, if we analyze, we can see that Steven said it felt like hours ago. But James apparently claims that was just like 3 years ago. So obviously there's some time loop stuff going on. Maybe that can explain the archway and all that. Maybe. Alright, I feel like these two last episodes are gonna answer our questions. So yeah.
The tape from inside the camera. Although the footage has been retrieved, there is visual tearing and audio distortion.
So, the video starts off, or lifts off after where No Through Road 2 leaves off at. So they're all driving. They don't really talk to each other. I mean, heck. But then, yeah, they got Steven's face wiped off. Now he just looks like he's seen a ghost, which is pretty true. Yeah, he probably did see a ghost, seeing the mask. So they drive for a little bit longer, but then James' phone starts calling, and then this happens.
Who was it?
I don't know, it was just a withheld number.
You caught that? Okay, yeah, okay, that's good. So, I don't know how he's acting so calm about it. I would be literally terrified out of my shoes. Literally, I would probably just try to call 911 or something. But then I would be called crazy. Yeah, so they drive for a little bit, and guess what they see again? The sign. So now James gets all frustrated. They take a ride. They're arguing about it. You know, they're just arguing. I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention this, but you can hear Steven in the background just apologizing for some reason. Now, I'm going to try to piece that together. Oh, wait, that was actually kind of faster. They just went the same way again. It's like they're actually just stuck. So, James goes forward again, but something strange happens again.
What do we do?
Drive. Drive. Go.
First of all, how did he teleport them like that? Second of all, what is that? Like, what is that symbol at the end?
Well, I unfortunately cannot answer your questions. I don't know what the symbol means. When I see the symbol, I just think of Marble Hornets, and I don't know. He might have power.
The remaining footage from the damaged tape. Although footage has been retrieved, there's tearing and audio distortion.
So we leave off from No Through Road 3. We hear the sounds of a startup engine. It's all dark and all that. So basically, yeah, we see James. Basically, after the events of No Through Road 3, the car has broken down. Yeah. Dave suggests that they can go back through the tunnel, but then Steve, he rudely interrupts. But then James points to a strange cabin. All three of the trio goes in there to explore, and yeah, I think we found where the killer lives, boys. This place is like very weird. There's like that symbol from earlier on the walls. That, like I said, it reminds me of Marble Hornets. Okay, it might be inspired from that. Yeah. This place, I guess this is where the person's been living. How can you even live in this dump? Apparently, if you guys don't see it, but there is markings of what they say on the wall. But then we see candles with a lot of masks. Looks like this dude doesn't want his face to be shown. Yeah. So the other two are like bamboozled. Look, you can see on the door right there it says time for crunchies. But then James accidentally bumps into something. He takes the cloak off, and I can't really make out what it is, but if I had to guess, I would have guessed a dead rabbit. Yeah. James is really looking to this mask. Steven says, hey, guys, yeah, let's leave. It's too creepy in here. And then all three of them leave out of here. Yes. I don't know what Dave is doing. I think he's just really curious what happened, because he's the only one who doesn't really know what happened. So they're on a walk back to the tunnel, and James starts talking about the video, and Steven goes like, what video? Because, he wasn't really there to see it. As they keep walking, it cuts to them just like ducking into the car, I think. And then Steven's like, shh, 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 shh. It's like, we don't really see what it is, but it's like he sees pretty much the masked man is just there by the tunnel. He's waiting. He's like waiting for something. But then a car pulls up. Others, like I said, are bamboozled. Like actually bamboozled. But then something clicks into Steven's mind. He starts singing the song that was in that car that very specific day. And then this happened.
James! James! What? What was he doing?
You said there was a film. The one from my camera. We've already done this.
What does that mean? That means you're gonna die.
If I'm alive now, I think I could prevent it. I did it before. I think I can stop it. Okay, listen. You weren't part of this, okay?
Yeah.
You were never part of it, so stay put.
What are you doing?
I got this from the shack.
Why?
So he doesn't recognize me.
Steve, what are you doing? Steven!
Wait!
Steven? Steven? Steven!
The tape cuts out here. Unless more material is discovered, the No 3 Road event still remains unsolved.
Okay, what just happened at this point? Like, bro, this happened, that happened, all of those things happened, and I just don't even know anymore.
Alright, so since I don't really feel like explaining what happened, I'm just gonna show you what kind of happened. You'll see how I just...
What are you doing? Turn it back on.
It's not me. I can't.
Turn the bloody light.
I did it before. I think I can stop it. Okay, listen. You weren't part of this, okay? You were never part of this, so stay put. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Gotta get used to the car. Gotta get used to the car and get you out of here. Wait! Wait! No! Don't! No! 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 No!
Steven? Steven? Steven! That could work.
Oh, cameras. So, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have come, but I felt like I owed it to them.
Reckon it's a good thing you came back.
I just had to pay my respects.
Do you think it was worth it?
No.
Steven! Steven! Wake up! What's going on? Steven! What's wrong? What's got blood? Steven! He's coming around. He's waking up. He's waking up. Steven! It's okay. Steven! Calm down. It's alright.
Where am I? Where? James!
Steven!
Oh, James!
Where have you been?
James, you got away!
Yeah, I got away. Where have you been?
Dave!
Hi, Steve.
What you saw there, this whole thing was just a time loop. It doesn't matter what they do. They drive into the tunnel. The others, future them, are just waiting there. And then basically the Steven that we saw that got killed in No 3 Road, one, was it the Steven who was in the car? It was the Steven that we saw in No 3 Road 2. And then after that, I'm pretty sure he runs off into the shadows to become No 3 Road 2 Steven. Yeah, it's basically like time travel, but it's a time loop. Well, even though this series was a loop, like and subscribe at least, and at least comment something, man. I need subscribers, man. Please.